Aquarius, the energy's a little strange. I don't think it's your energy. I mean, it could be for some of you, you feel a little bit off, but it's kind of like the collective energy or the energy around you. You're noticing something feels different. It's like there's a shift. And on one hand, I feel like it's a positive shift where it's like, okay, now we're moving forward. There's direct speed, like direct speed. Interesting. There's direction, there's speed, there's forward momentum. Things are being laid out on the table. Things are getting said clearly. There's accuracy involved. There's details matter. All of these things are coming to light, and it feels like good in that sense. But on the other hand, it feels like there's this shadow or something underneath that is not being seen, or that is getting sidebarred in a way. It's like what used to be the main focus and had very big intentions around, or worth a lot of your time or someone else's time, is now starting to just be ignored or swiped. I'm hearing swiped away, swiped aside. There's definitely a sea change that I feel, and it's got to be impacting you in some way since it's showing up in your energy. And I sat in meditation with you in your energy, with the Aquarian collective energy, and all I got is that there's been some kind of delay. Okay, something's been delayed. Delay is what I got, which is interesting because the energy feels like there's forward momentum. That's what I'm talking about. It's like everything is starting to move, okay? And it feels maybe like things are getting a little bit more predictable. But then there's like this shadow or this other side where it feels like, no, everything's been delayed. I don't know. It's a weird feeling, okay? And then I got there's a change of heart. Someone's had a change of heart, maybe you or someone else, and that's it. That's all I got. So let's get into the cards and see what's going on. Maybe it will become much clearer as we go into the energy. But yeah, it's this it's like a light switch has flipped where it's like, okay, now we're going to turn on these lights. Right? And so now we can see more of the room because these lights are on. But because we're turning on these lights, we're going to turn off those lights. But those lights that were on previously were so important because they were lighting up a different part of the room that you wanted to see. That's the feeling. Okay, that's the analogy that really brings it home for me, what this energy is about. So the focus has shifted. But it feels kind of... It's almost feeling like a bait and switch in some way, okay? I know, but this is what I'm getting. So let's see. Let's get the cards out and see what your message is, what's going on for you. Why is this energy coming through in your reading? What's up, Aquarius? Forward momentum. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily malicious or there's something that you need to watch out for. It's just kind of like, something just feels different. Feels kind of strange. Okay, let's see. Vanishing mirror. Ego sublimation. Number 58. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe, right? It's like this forward momentum and this trajectory, and like we're moving, the goals are lining up, we got a path, we're feeling like, yes, things are, back together. I'm hearing hip ha ha. I don't know what that is, and I feel like dancing there. It's like the ego. Now, the ego is not a bad thing all the time. If you're an egomaniac, that's not so good. Okay, but if you have a healthy ego or a well-integrated ego, then that can be a wonderful thing it is a wonderful thing to have. But it feels like where the lights have been shut off is all that internal shadow work that you were doing, or that maybe even the collective was doing, or somebody around you was getting really introspective, and now they're all focused on the ego instead. That's the shift I'm talking about. And the ego loves this because the ego, whether it's yours or someone else's or the collective, didn't like that feeling of being challenged and confronted with the shadow work, with the looking in the mirror and let's see who we really are. and something has shifted in your energy or in your experience or astrologically, where now the ego's back online and it's like, oh, that whole going within, looking within is a thing of the past right now. Or that's not as important as this thing that I'm moving towards. Okay, what is going on, Spirit? So somebody you know could have been making a lot of progress, okay, doing a lot of internal work, maybe therapy even, of some kind of modality they were into, and now they've just kind of shut down out of nowhere. Or it could be you, or this is just the general vibe. It's like, I thought we were really thinking about this critically. I thought we were really, and someone's like, yeah, but turn those lights off and turn these ones on instead. And the ego's like, great. Aquarius, what's happening here? Okay, tell me more. I'm hearing something for you to consider. Look, release. You're being asked to release something. 42. An inquiry or a focus you had. A lot of blue coming through in these cards, and also with what I'm wearing, of course. So this blue connects to the heart, the throat chakra. Interesting. Maybe something going on with the heart chakra too. Speaking from the heart, a change of heart. Okay, Spirit, tell me more. We need more information here. What's going on? What is being asked of Aquarius? Let me just say, what is being asked of Aquarius? Stormy and divinity. Well, I feel like this came through in the last collective reading. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. And I feel like you really learned how to sail on the stormy seas in that period where you were challenging things about yourself, or challenging others, or challenging the collective. And it Brody, I'm hearing. Interesting, the music just went off there. Or something with Brianna, B something, BR something. It brought you closer to God, closer to divinity. This looking at a stormy situation. And now you're being asked to release that. To turn towards what? Spirit, to turn towards what instead? I'm going to get the tarot too, but let's just see. Gratitude and water. Okay, hold on a second. Who is asking you to release the stormy seas? Who? The walker, the unknown, a journey. And who is asked the pathless, difficult decisions, lack of direction? Yeah. Okay. So in the past, you were in the stormy seas. Okay. There were things that were unknown. You were on a journey that you were walking. Perhaps you didn't know where you were going, but you were dedicated to something here. You were walking the path, a path. Now that's I don't know who's asking you to release this. It could be you, or it could be spirit, or maybe it's somebody. And they're asking you to turn towards the pathless, a lack of direction with gratitude and water. It's like, just be thankful. Stay in emotional space here, which can be connected to intuition. But here it's kind of like there's emotional overwhelm. Okay, like the ego is feeling fulfilled because something feels good, right? It's not a logical fulfillment, like, you know what I mean? It's like something is making the ego feel good. But there's a lack of direction here. Or there's many hands involved. Okay, I have these cards, which are very whodunit. So let's, that could be a message. So let's get these out and ask, who is telling Aquarius to turn away from something that was very important to them? Maybe you've completed that mission and you fulfilled it, but I don't know. Let's see. Martial arts master, Buddhist, and shadow. And who, chameleon. Yes, there's something going on here, okay? With this turning towards the ego, camouflage, shape-shifting, God Almighty says, chameleon and God. See, like, it's like someone's playing God here in a sense, or they're camouflaging something with spirituality. It's like journaling your gratitude journal every day, which is a good practice. I've done that before. It can really help with connecting yourself to your intuition, to your emotions, your emotional blocks, and help you get on a path. That can be all wonderful, but it feels like that's a distraction, or it's almost like some kind of it's like somebody trying to put in like induce like amnesia in you, where you forget what you found, what you were after. The shadow, the Buddhist, and the martial arts master. Somebody's working very hard, okay, to disguise a shadow as something divine. Is this making sense, Aquarius? Let me recap, okay? You were on a path. It was hard. There were stormy seas, but you were making a lot of progress. It was bringing you closer to the divine. You were walking a path. You were guided. I'm seeing these 3 doves here. You were challenging your own ego. You were looking at the world around you. Things were becoming clearer to you. There was healing going on. And I feel like you were at the tail end of it. And then it's like, I don't know, just suddenly the energy shifts around you. And all of a sudden there's a new focus. And the new focus is on this now. The new focus is on like, let's just be grateful for everything. Don't worry about that. You know, your inner feelings, your inner work, your past, and what made you into the person that you are is not important. Or those questions that you had before about where you were going, what you were doing, who you are, what this person is doing, what they're up to, what does life mean, etc. No longer important. Just have blind faith. Release your shadow work. Release your destruction of the toxic parts of your ego. Just forget it. Like, what's going on? You're smarter than that, so I know that you're not buying it. I'll be very careful of someone around you posing as someone who knows what's best for you. Could be somebody who feels like they're connected to you in a past life, or they were somebody that you were very connected to in this life, but in the past. Could be an air sign, okay, or somebody who's very smart. Okay. Interesting message, Aquarius. Okay, I'm going to put these cards away, Spirit, and let's keep going for Aquarius. Tell me Aquarius's energy. Tell me who Aquarius is. The astronomer, discovery. Yeah, you were getting closer to the divine. You were, like your birth chart, right? It's like you were figuring out who you are at a soul level, okay? Where your path is leading to, the obstacles you're encountering, your wounds, your karma, your dharma, all of these cool things that get you to ask the deeper questions, okay? And then, I don't know, it's like somebody came in and said, that's all hogwash. Aquarius, don't pay any attention to that. Just have blind faith over here in what I'm saying, or where I'm pointing you towards, because where I'm pointing you towards, there's a definitive path in front of you. There's a set reward for you. But Spirit's saying it's actually not a path. It's pathless. It's an ego drive, ego fulfillment. Now, again, this could be happening to someone around you too. So apply it as it resonates. And I feel like Spirit is actually saying that it's important to hold both of these perspectives at the same time, to have all the lights on, right? Why do you have to choose one set over another? Okay, so to turn on all the lights, to fully illuminate the room, your mind or your path or whatever, your experience. So yes, look at what your ego desires and what your ego wants and what it's moving towards. And yes, be grateful and have emotional resonance with the things that you're desiring. But don't be solely led by emotions and rewards for the ego. Also keep in mind that stormy journey. Now, maybe you needed this person, this chameleon, whatever it is, energy to come in order to balance you out. Doesn't mean you're going to fall for it, but maybe you needed that counterbalance to say, hey, wait a second, I've been denying something to myself that I actually truly want. And I'm not going to take it from them or take it wholesale the way they're presenting it. But yeah, maybe I do need to consider that too. Yeah, because I feel like you're very smart with this. I don't feel like I really have to warn you either. Maybe this is just validation or confirmation of what you already know. Let's see. Let's get in further. So let me see, Aquarius. Change of heart. A delay. Oh, yeah. What's the delay? What's the delay, Spirit? Past life again. Resolving some past life karma is being delayed by this. Safe travel. Well, I do feel like you were at the tail end of that shadow work and you had become a skilled sailor. So maybe you finding the land, finding what you're after, or finding the treasure in the bottom of the ocean, that's been delayed a little bit by this. But perhaps it's for the best. Let's see. Tell me the energy supporting Aquarius. Energy supporting Aquarius. I didn't see what they were. No more than 2. I feel like there could be an overwhelm of information too. Strength, the lion and the cobra, and judgment. Ooh, the transcendence. Well, yeah. And I feel like this is you. That's who I'm talking to. That's who I'm connecting with today. Is an Aquarian energy, regardless of where it is in your chart and what placement you're watching for. It's somebody who has had an awakening and it's been a painful one, a struggle. Okay, this hasn't been like, don't say that. Okay, this hasn't been an easy, there's no need to insult. Okay, it hasn't been an easy journey like some maybe want to advertise awakenings as. It's been eye-opening. And you've had to face some snakes in the grass, your own or others, okay? And really integrate the aspect of you that wants to wild out, and go full force with your emotions and instincts, with your logic and your intuition. You've had to combine and integrate all those things. Exactly. So that's the energy supporting you. You still have that within you. You're never going to lose that. You're never going to lose sight of that. But it's as if this other energy is here hypnotizing. Now, maybe it's the media even. I don't know. Okay. But it's like a hypnosis. Like, let's get Aquarius to forget who they really are, what they really know, okay? And if you don't feel like this resonates, obviously don't take it. But it's coming through for a reason for someone. So let's see the energy challenging you, Aquarius. Now, it could also be the case that you just feel kind of off and strange. And, our tendency as humans is we don't want to sit in any kind of discomfort. Naturally, most living sentient things don't want to do that. They seek comfort immediately. But watch out for easy solutions, easy things that get you to escape the discomfort, like giving into maybe an addiction or, brain rot scrolling just to to not sit with an uncomfortable feeling or thought. Be careful of that, because whatever's coming in to switch on some lights but turn off others is something that you have to be aware of and handle with care. Okay, you could say, yes, sure, I can do this, but I also need to keep those lights on too. So I can watch maybe stuff that's typically brain rot, but watch it critically, or I don't know, something like that, Aquarius. Don't go to sleep, in other words. Okay. You're being challenged here for sure. Ace of Cups, you see? That's the energy challenging you. Look at these gnarly hands, these claws. Okay, it's like there's that water. I put it back in the deck now, but that water element that was coming in and saying from the stormy sea, right? You were in the stormy sea, then this energy comes in with this gratitude and this water element saying, here's that Ace of Cups. It's gonna feel better now. And I'm not saying that there isn't something there that's gonna make you feel better. It could, but don't look at it as don't forget what you've already learned, okay? Don't get swept away with something, because there's an emotional plea here, or emotional, it's giving me like the vibes of an advertisement that plays on your heartstrings. You know, it's that kind of energy. Like, you are smarter than falling for something that isn't in your best interest or isn't fully in alignment with you just because it's new and exciting. You're smarter than that, right? So tell me more about the energy challenging Aquarius. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, look. The pathless, right? These are potentials and they're great. And whenever we see aces, we're like, ooh la la, ego likes. Potential, right? New job, new love, whatever, right? It's never like, oh, okay, here's self-discovery at a deep level. We usually don't read the pentacles like that, although they could be read like that. Maybe others do read it like that. But this is that energy coming in and saying, being grateful for all you have, for all your potentials. Don't mind any of the things that bother you. And I feel like Spirit's saying, yes, have gratitude. Yes, go toward potentials and dream up new things. But stay grounded, stay realistic, stay connected to all the work that you've done on yourself. Because you have done a lot of work on yourself. You're not floating around out there totally out to lunch. You're not. You are smart. Okay? You are fixed air. Okay, so it's going to be very hard to put you to sleep and get your mind to shut down. But there's somebody really tempting you here with something. And it's a challenge. Okay, let's see. Can we get some more specifics, some more details, Spirit? There's like this feeling you had where you were like, it's not righteousness. It's more of like, I'm after the truth. I'm seeking higher levels of consciousness and connection with the divine. And I don't care what anybody thinks about me at all. And that's still, it hasn't gone away. That's still there. But this other energy that's coming in, or astrological shift, or part of your shadow, or whatever it is, another person is coming in and saying, yeah, but why don't you just forget about that and go for this? I've repeated that storyline several times now. So Spirit really wants you to think about that, because I've said the same thing multiple times here. I'm hearing the Milky Way, the galaxy, the Milky Way. 3 more. What was going on 2018, 19, maybe 2017, somewhere in there, right before 2020? What was going on with you? There's something, some energy that you could reconnect with. Maybe there was something you were doing that you were excited about, or you were getting into something, or you learned something very important then. King of Cups. Look at your trident. Yeah, see, you're a skilled sailor. Okay. Yep. Interesting. What is going on for you, Aquarius? Let me know in the comments if you feel guided, because I would like to know what this is. And it's probably very specific for each of you, which is why I can't pull out the details. But 6 of Cups. Maybe it's related to the past. 10 of Swords. 5 of Cups. Or it's bringing up some relief from a painful situation from the past. Okay, King of Cups for your overall energy. So tell me more about this, Spirit. What should I clarify with? Tell me more about the King of Cups for Aquarius's overall energy. Your eyes are piercing. Okay, I'm seeing that here. Intention. That intention is in your eyes. Okay, maybe you see it yourself when you look in the mirror. There is a deeper understanding. This has to do with your emotions. Okay. Maybe there's some kind of emotional manipulation at play here, but it feels more like Spirit is saying, like, you've really gotten a handle on your emotional being, like what moves you emotionally. King of Cups. And you don't always wear your heart on your sleeve. Okay. Tell me more about Aquarius's overall energy here. King of Cups. There could be something that you're not saying. You're protecting your heart. Oh my goodness. Just one for Aquarius. Okay, well, we have 2. The Devil, 3. The 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. Well, no wonder you're like this. Look what you've been through. Holy moly. But you don't show it. This is massive, like, betrayal. Heartache. Deception, even. The Master of Lies, it says on the Devil card. The barren desert for the 10 of Swords. And the bleeding raw heart for the 3 of Swords. So you have really done some work on yourself and your heart. Yeah, well, no wonder I'm feeling, what the hell is this energy now? Trying to get you to forget all that you've been through. And it's not that you need to live in the pain, okay, of whatever you've been through, or the trauma, or the memory of it. Not at all. And I feel like you already know that. You've already worked through that. Maybe someone's trying to convince you that you are living in misery when you're not. You're just wise to the pain that exists on your life's journey. The Moon for what you don't see coming. There could be something about a mother energy coming through here with the Moon. But the Moon is a card about illusion, confusion, emotions, distractions, things hidden. Clearly we have that with these 2 aces, which I really am not getting, like, I don't trust this. Okay, that's me. I don't trust it. Maybe you feel the same. Can I figure out more about this storyline here? Because we want all the lights to be on, right? Spirit, yeah, the Sacred Heart. the heart and soul of Goliath. We want all the lights to be on. So this light switch that's been turned on is a good thing as long as we don't turn off the other light switch. Well, I'm going to get to the advice, but let's figure out more of the story here. Okay, tell me more about the moon. The Knight of Cups, the brother of the wild. Yeah, here's someone coming in with some kind of emotional offer. And I'm seeing these ghosts here, and we did see the Six of Cups and the Five of Cups before. So maybe they're speaking to this offer, this ego desire or whatever is speaking to an aspect of you that's wounded still, hasn't fully healed, or there's a longing, a nostalgia you have for someone or something, and this offer is speaking to that part of you. Could be. Or for someone else, if I'm reading on someone close to you and you're wondering what's going on with them. But there's things that are definitely hidden with the moon and this Knight of Cups. And I feel like finding out what's hidden is probably a good thing here. Sometimes that's not always the best use of our time, right? But this feels like, we need to see what's over there. We need those lights to be turned on. So what's going on? What's hidden here? What is hidden? The Six of Wands, the El Goliath Hive. I always take the Six of Wands as a little bit of ego. And another ace of Wands. This is a feeling of victory, okay? Of championing something I'm getting. A public victory for all the hard work that you've done. It's also showing, hold on. Someone's offering you a shortcut to something. Three aces. So what's hidden is maybe this offer or this potential makes you feel as though you've had a win. Okay. But why is this energy trying to get Aquarius to shut off the other lights? The Five of Wands, the Jagged Union, the Nine of Swords, because they don't want any conflict. And that's what your wisdom from the stormy seas brings, is your ability to call out conflict. It's like, this looks good, but, and they don't want that but. They want you to just have gratitude. They don't want you to say, okay, I can see this, let's go forward with this. Maybe we should revise this or rethink that. Or what about when that happened? We still need answers for that. This energy doesn't want that conflict, doesn't want that questioning, doesn't want to have to deal with something. I'm hearing set it and forget it. Okay. That's why they're trying to get you to shut down this other part of you, this wise, spiritually strong warrior side of you. Maybe it's not so much that they can trick you, but it's so that you don't challenge them. Maybe that's the same thing. I don't know. Page of Wands, the moonscaped messenger. So you don't challenge their message or what they're telling you. Or what they're offering you. Okay? It's fantastic to have all these aces presented to you, but it doesn't mean you're not allowed to ask questions. You can still be grateful and seek clarity. Okay? Queen of Cups for your opportunity. This is to get right and remind yourself of your own emotional landscape. So some other energy can't come in and fill that cup for you. It's already full. You know, when we're walking around with an empty cup in our heart space, then it's very enticing when someone comes along with all these overflowing jugs and we're like, ooh, you're the one to fill me up. You're the one to fix my problem. But Spirit's saying you have your own reservoir of water. I mean, you're sealing the stormy seas. You're the King of Cups. You have more than enough energy at your own disposal to fill your own cup, that you don't need this other. It's just a bonus, whatever this is. Okay, so the opportunity is to recognize that you have no desperation. Not really, not at a soul level. Okay, you have quite a bit to work with on your own. And that any going forward is a choice to gain more. Okay, yes, so this is key. Okay, you don't need to make a decision between this or that. These the stage lights versus the back lights. Okay, yeah, it's like in a theater I'm seeing. You can have all the lights on. This repetition. Okay, tell me more about the Queen of Cups for the opportunity. The world, yes, all of the lights. Complete mastery of your own emotions. You have that. King and Queen of Cups are here, and then the moon and the sun are here. So these are divine masculine and feminine complementary energies showing up, both in kind of a minor with the king and queen and a major with the sun and the moon. So this is about balancing things out here. Okay, the sun is the challenge. Yeah, because something is looking real good and speaking to that ego. The sun card can be about ego, which again is not always bad. So let's see. Why is the sun a challenge? Well, the sun is the challenge and the moon is what you don't see coming. So the sun can't exist without the moon. There's always a shadow element, something hidden, a layer deeper. There's always more to the story here, okay? The emperor, the ruling father with the sun. The starseed, the demiurge, it says on it. These are the El Goliath tarot cards, the mini pack. I don't know, the smaller version. I have both though. They're beautiful. The Seven of Pentacles, the rewarded frog. The Caution, the heedful mouse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Let me look at these. A lot of cards just came through. Put them in order here. Something maybe needs to go in order for you to see something. Be careful of carrot dangling. You know, the Seven of Pentacles, this is like ongoing effort. And someone's telling you you're going to be, this Queen of Pentacles is telling you, not gender specific, okay, but they're telling you you're going to be rewarded for your ongoing effort from catching all these flies despite the traps. You know, keep going, you're going to be rewarded. But then there's a caution here. Somebody may want you to do some work for them, be an understudy of sorts, or a ghostwriter, or a substitute, or whatever. They want you to fill in some way. This could even be in a relationship, like emotionally. They want you to do some work for them. And you're quite capable of doing it with the starseed. But there's something, a warning here about someone trying to rule over your magic, your intuition, your connection to the stormy seas and the dry lands. You know, it's like somebody's trying to rule over your connection, your spiritual connection with yourself. Okay? And they could be distracting you by getting you to do something for them. I don't know. Okay, so the sun as the challenge. Yeah, something is not what it seems. King of Cups. Again, the chief eagle. Spirit's asking you to use your third eye here. The eagle. Look from a higher perspective at what's going on. The high priestess, you see? Intuitively, there's something hidden, something you're picking up on with this situation. Okay, even though it's like presented to you like, no, this is all out in the open. This is all, you know, this is honesty I'm hearing. but there's something else going on. Okay, your advice is the Tower. This is one of the most powerful Tower cards I've seen. And this is the Bone Stone. Bone Stone and Earth Flesh Tarot. This is an eagle chained to a cliff, unable to fly. And see, that's the warning, because Spirit's telling you with that eagle that just came out. Where did he go? Did I put him back? Yeah, the King of Cups, which you already came out as, so I know this is you. Spirit's saying the warning, your advice is not to get chained to something here, chained to the ego desires, chained to all these potentials and possibilities. Someone's like, read the fine print. Be careful what you're signing up for here, or at least revise a contract if you need to, because you still want to be able to fly. Okay, so just don't brush any warning signs off, I feel, is the advice. Let's get a little bit further. Tell me about the Tower for the advice. This is such a heartbreaking photo. I don't know, it just hits me. Oh yeah, it's pretty sad. It's like captivity, right? Yeah, it's like something might look great, but it's you're no longer on the wide open sea. You're captive somewhere, Two of Pentacles, the juggling snake. Right, so it's like, just make sure that things are done according to what aligns with you. Don't sign up for anything that you feel you could get trapped in or stuck in. Don't let all of these beautiful potentials that are suddenly laid before you capture you, so much so that you don't see the Hierophant, the fine print, the Four of Pentacles, what's not being shown to you. Okay? So I would just ask more questions and not do anything that doesn't feel good to you, despite the reward and promise. Now, sometimes we do need to push ourselves emotionally or break out of our own self-imposed limitations to grow, but you're already showing up as strength and judgment. So I feel like you are allowed to say no to something or to challenge some kind of offer, even though the offer looks amazing. Okay? And someone else might be telling you, how could you even, you should just have gratitude for this. No. Okay? No, they don't want you to ask questions in some way. Eight of Pentacles for the outcome. I'm also going to do an extended. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper into this message. We're going to see what's underneath it all. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. If you're not interested in that, or you can't go to that, or you hate that idea and you're like, WTF, then just trust that Spirit already knew who you were, how you were feeling, what you were going to do, and gave you all the information you needed right here. Eight of Pentacles. Well, this is to keep working on yourself, or to stay diligent, okay? To not compromise your integrity, your skill. Like, you have mastered something. You've perfected something through your hard work. And you're not going to just throw that away now for this. Tell me more about the Eight of Pentacles as the outcome. The Queen of Wands, the Cosmic Huntress, and the Moon. Ooh, the Silver Shadow reflection. Right, this is Spirit saying, yes, you can go towards the sun and see all that it has to offer, but remember, the moon is always going to be there. Okay, and you should always explore what's in the moon energy as well as what's under the sun. Okay, you have to keep working in both realms. Okay, in order to really fully balance something out. The Tower, in order to not be caught in the grips of the Tower, of destruction, of a rude awakening. Okay, keep the balance here. Stay critical, stay skeptical maybe, not paranoid, but keep asking the questions. And don't sacrifice anything that you've worked hard to heal. All right, that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.